Okay, start.
இதுவெல்லாம் படிப்பிச்சிட்டேன் டிலான். This is all I have finished. Next slide. Good evening to you all, students. So last week I have completed till the conflict part, and today I will be explaining about the 7 action logics. That means how people do have different types of characteristics and logical actions, right? So this is the first one is the opportunist. An opportunist is a person who takes immediate advantage of an opportunity to achieve a goal and doesn't even think about the morals, ethics, principles or consequences of that action. So opportunist is a person who like uses the opportunity of a given situation. So for example, like now if you take this corona situations, due to curfew, since the general public are not accessible to the groceries, some of the online groceries, some like the people who were supplying those stuffs were like playing a major role uh, uh, in a hike in price. That means they all were like packing some food into stuff, and they were not sure about the good quality, but they were like delivering to the high price. So they know as businesses, like at this situation, it at any cost, people who are effort to pay the price and get the groceries, they will be getting. For example, even the bakery stuffs and all, like since you all are not going out, so they come near to your doorsteps, and like they give, like you can't select what are the things you want and stuff, and they have set into a package. That means like I have an experience, like you can't go and select like you do in the outlet. Now they will be packing like a hamper. That means 4 or 5 you have to buy that whole set. That means people who have money, they will be buying, so those who don't have money, they won't be buying. So in this, what as a business, they don't think about the ethics, morals and principles, even the consequences of their actions they won't be thinking. Now for example, if I'm a loyal customer to Pereira Sands, and if this situation they are using as their business opportunity, I will be having a bad impression on them. So it is according to that, the way they show themselves to the outer public or to their customers. So they have to maintain the stability of the business. At the meantime, they should not misuse the country's situation to do their business and stuff. So opportunities is a person, like this type of leader or person, what they will do is they will be using the opportunity to the maximum level, where they don't think about the ethics, morals or the consequences. So next one is the diplomatic person. So a diplomatic person is someone who can be sensitive in dealing with others and who can achieve peaceful resolutions or facilitate discussions. A person who doesn't take sides in a fight but who instead helps others to resolve their differences is an example of someone who is a diplomatic. So diplomatic is a person who, like, if now let's say you tell, like for example, you say you have a problem in your organization, and your two colleagues are being fighting and you are in the middle. So what you can do is you can diplomatically solve that problem without taking it into two sides, because both are your colleagues and you don't want to make the problem bigger. So as a diplomatic person, what they will do is they will resolve the problem in a peaceful manner. They won't make the issue to get bigger and bigger, where they concentrate both of their aspects and they don't take both sides. In a general term, they give a solution, and also they try to be good for both the people. They don't create harmness to both the people. Like with less problems, they will be solving the problem. So this kind of person you called as a diplomatic. That means you may have some experiences. If you go to a person to solve a problem by calling the person who you have conflict, if you go to that person, that person will not talk to your side or the other person's side, or he will be balancing both of you, as well as he will be balancing himself as well. So as a diplomatic, you have to identify or remember that he is a person who deals with sensitive issues where without increasing the conflict. So he is a diplomatic. And next, an expert. An expert is someone who has a prolonged experience through the practice and education in a particular field. An expert is a person with extensive knowledge or ability based on research, experience, or occupation in a particular area of study. So, person who is expertise, we call now a person who is very familiar or very how do you say, if they have a very in-depth knowledge of what they are doing, we call him as an expert. It might be in an occupation, maybe like a doctor might be an expert in his surgery, a lawyer might be expert in his way of handling cases, so a teacher might be an expert in identifying and addressing the problems of a student. So these kind of expertness derives from their knowledge and the research or the ability of understanding in a particular area or study. So this is called as the expert. And achiever, so achiever is someone who is successful in their studies and their work, usually as a result of their efforts. So achiever is a person who is like whatever they are doing, they will be gaining a positive outcome. That means maybe might be a student, might be an employee. So in any aspect of their life, which task they are undertaking, they will achieve the goal. So they are the people who are called as achiever. And individualist, so individualist are person who believes strongly that each of us could be just who we are, has an individualistic outlook. Individualistic doers are self-assured and very independent people. So these people always rely on themselves, not the other people. So whatever the decisions or whatever the assumption they are making, they always relies on themselves, that they believe that they are correct all the time. So that's what they say, a person who believes strongly that each of us should be who we are as an individual outlook. That means they mostly think out of the box, and they be think about themselves when resolving a problem. So these are the individualist, they are very independent, they don't rely on others to take decision, they will have their self to take their own decision, and they are self assured as well, right? So the next point, next slide please. So a strategist is a person with responsibility for the formulation and implementation of a strategy. Strategy generally involves in setting goals, determining actions to achieve the goals, sorry, and mobilizing resources to execute the actions. A strategist analyzes complex environments or problems and designs practical pathways and business solutions to achieve organizational objectives. So strategist is a person who is thinking about attaining the vision. To attain the vision, you have to play strategically. Strategy is means like you think out of the box. Now if your competitor is thinking in a general way, you think in a very different way where you can reach the market structure. So strategy is a person who is like identifying what is the vision of the company and always coming up with new ways of solution or new ways of plans, new ways of ideas, and new ways of resource allocation in order to attain the vision. So in this, a strategy has a ability of analyzing stuff. When they are analyzing the external environment and what are the pathways that they can attain their vision, they will think to attain the goal. So to achieve the goal, they will think in a different way and an intelligent, smart way to achieve a certain thing. So these people are called the strategists. So we call them a strategically thinking person. So next one is the alchemist. So they are individuals who live by moral standards and mainly focus on the truth. So alchemists are people who always relies on the values and beliefs which they are made up of. Like even though when they are working, they will not go beyond their work ethics. Even in their life, they won't go beyond their work ethics. So these are the people who always give importance to the moral standards. So these are the people we called as alchemist. Next. Okay, I have finished chapter 7. So you can refer to the book, like if you need any extra notes or something. So whatever it's questioned in the online examination, I have summarized and made it into the slide. So we will be doing another session, another class. I think so far I'll just let you know the summary in OB which modules I have completed. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think 9, 10, 11, and 4 is balance. So today we'll do one. So I think this is leadership. Might be the ninth chapter, I guess. So moving on to the slide. So what is leadership? So, leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal. In order to achieve a common goal, the person who is directing or showing the pathway to achieve a certain goal to a group of people is called as a leader. Leader is not elected, leader is always selected by a group of people, they are emerged. Next. Next slide, please. So, we'll see what are the leadership involves. As a leader, you have to, now you see the red picture is big than the blue picture, where they are, the leader is the person who is guiding the other people. So they will have to establish a clear vision. That means they have to show the group members what are the vision, sharing that vision with others so that if they follow willingly. That means after you set up a vision, you have to share that vision with the group of people, providing the information, knowledge, and methods to realize the vision. That means here you have to provide information, knowledge, and methods to make sure that your group team members are understanding what are the, in order to achieve your vision, what are the knowledge you have to gain, what are the information you have to know, and what are the pathways you have to attain the vision. After that, coordinating and balancing the conflict interest of all members of stakeholders. That means all the stakeholders or all the members in your group will have different kinds of interest. As a leader, you have to make all the different kinds of interest to make in focus of the vision of the organization. As a leader, you should identify that different personalities have their different unique pathways and their uh, way of attaining a specific goal. So according to that, the leader has to identify how to coordinate with all the interest of the people in achieving the vision, with also balancing the conflicts occurring within an organization. So these are the criteria which a leader should have. And next slide. Dilan, next slide, please. So Min's work, so this usually comes to your examination. So Min's work has identified the management roles. He has categorized the management roles in three major categories. So where he says people are with three kind of personal roles or in a combination of all three. So most of the majority might fall into one category in the larger range. So first we see decisional roles, informational roles, and interpersonal roles. So decisional roles are mainly taken from the brain. If you see this picture, you will know all the decisions you take from the brain. And informational roles, you pass it through your word of mouth. That means you get information from other people and you share information what you know. So that is from your mouth. And interpersonal, it's coming from your heart. That means you're mindfully taking that decisions. So these three category of people are there: decisional, informational, and interpersonal. So under decisional roles, they are categorizing entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and the negotiator will be falling into the decisional role category. An informational role category person will be a monitor, disseminator, spokesperson. Interpersonal role person would be figurehead, leader, and a liaison. So in detail, we'll see in the next slide. Dylan, the detailed explanation is not given. Just see the other slides. Move the slides. Only this much.
அவ்வளவுதான் மிஸ் இருக்குது.
அவ்வளவுதானா?
இது 4வது ஸ்லைட்ஸ்.
ஓகே.
இது 5வது ஸ்லைட்.
Okay, now there should be a detail. Okay, go. I think because it is in the textbook, I have not included in the slide because this was done for the previous batch now. Okay, go for the this thing. Go for the slide.
Backward.
Oh yeah, backward. So students, so Mintzberg management roles. So I have explained there are 3 roles. So there is a small little homework for all the people who have attended this session. Also, I will ask them to put in the Moodle. So what you have to do is, so under the decisional roles, informational roles, and interpersonal roles, there are few categories. That means in the decisional roles, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, negotiator is falling. So they have their own description, like who is an entrepreneur, who is a disturbance handler, who is a resource allocator. So this you have to do a small research work and do it as a homework, right? So this notes is in your textbook. The people who are having textbook can refer to your textbook and make a small note out of it. Okay, so just mark this as a homework. Okay, I'll move to the next slide. So the trait approach. So trait approach means, so here we will be saying what is meant by a trait approach. So leadership trait theory is an idea that people are born with certain characteristic traits. This is the style that is attributed to a leader who others see as a born leader. The distinctive qualities and characteristics possessed by strong leaders. These traits, while not totally responsible for an individual's success as the leader, are influences the success of the leader. This theory assumes that if you could identify people with the correct traits, you will be able to identify the leaders. So in the trait approach, it says, this is the approach, it says that people are born with the traits. That means a leader is born with certain qualities because he is waking up in the early morning, or he is very dedicated to his work, and he is very communicative. So they are saying all these are coming by birth, because by birth they are having these sort of different unique characteristics, only they have become a leader. So trait approach always says these distinctive qualities and characteristics only possess a leader. That means these people only can become a leader. So there are some opponent theories also. That means they say trait approach is not correct, because trait approach, they say some people also could be a leader by developing their skills. According to the trait approach, they are saying people assume that people with correct traits are can be the leaders always. Next. So next, the contingency approach. So contingency approach always says that management is based on the idea there is no one best way to manage, and to be effective, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling must be tailored to the particular circumstances by particular circumstances faced by an organization. In other words, you manage should change depending on the circumstances. So contingency approach says there is no one way to manage, do the management. According to the situation, you can change your way of management. That means if one way is not working out, you can work out with the another way. So that is called as the contingency approach. Next. So next one is the situational leadership theory. So situational leadership theory suggests that no single leadership style is best. So instead of, it's all depends on the situation at the hand, which type of leadership and strategies are suited to the task. So situation leadership trait says that you are not fixed as a leader, that you will be always very democratic way, always you will be in autocratic way. Now they are saying according to the situation, you will be changing your attitude towards the group members as a leader. So decisions what you make can be for the situation given. According to this theory, most effective leaders are those that are able to adapt their lifestyle to the situation and look at the cues such as Dylan, someone is talking. Dylan, turn to the previous slide. I heard someone is talking. Like, do they have any doubt or like what? Okay. So, according to the situational leadership theory, it says there is no one style to do the leadership. According to the situation, leaders can adapt their way of delivering or way of style they handle the group of people according to the situation. And they say like to get a task done, you can do your leadership in a way how the situation is arising at the current moment. So situation leadership theory, you have to basically understand according to the situation you can do your leadership. Contingency theory says there is no one best way to manage. You can have a contingency plan. If plan A is not working out, you can come with plan B. And the trait approach says some characteristics, who the people who are born with special characteristics can be a leader. So these are the theories. So I'll move to the next slide. So here Hersey and Blanchard's leadership styles. So what are the four primary leadership style according to Hersey and Blanchard? So they say the four primary leadership style, that is telling, selling, participating, and delegating. So these are the some distinctive qualities what the leaders have. One is telling. In this leader style, the leader tells people what to do and how to do. So this is question in the online examination. So when you are like going to a telling leadership style, here what the leader do is he always tells the followers what to do. Like they will be guiding. That means he will say you have to do this and you have to do that and this you have not to do. Always he will be telling what to do. So these are the telling style. Selling. Next one is selling. These leaders may create the roles and objectives for others, but they are also open to suggestions and opinions. Leaders sell their ideas and message. Here, selling means you tell or convey your ideas and make the people to think on themselves and act according to them. So selling means you share your ideas. You don't possess them to like do this, do that. You don't show the like you don't hold the hands or you don't go to spoon feed. You tell the idea. After that, it is up to the followers how they are going to rebuild it. After that, participating. So in participating in this approach, the leader offers less direction and allows members of the groups to take more action role in coming up with ideas and making decisions. So in participating, what they are doing is like in the selling part, you tell your ideas. In the participating leadership style, what the leader is doing is making other followers also to take decisions and come up with their own opinions, so that their analytical skills and problem solving skills will be developed even without the leader. So in a participating style leadership, all the followers as well as the leader go into and work together. After that, delegating. This style is characteristics by less involved, hands-off approach to a leadership. Group members tend to make most of the decisions and most of the responsibility for what happens. Researchers have found that this generally that leadership style that leads to a lower productivity among group members. So here the leader won't much interfere in stuff. Always he will be leaving the decision making to the followers. Here they are saying this delegating part is not a good leadership style, because as a leader the involvement is low, means all will be like taking decisions in a different way and conflicts may occur. So delegating type of leadership means the involvement of the leader is very less compared to the other three styles. So this is called as the delegation leadership style. So next slide. So in chapter 9, there is something called managerial grid. So the managerial grid I will be explaining in the next class. So this that slide and the chart is not there. So managerial grid I will be doing next class. So chapter 9 is almost finished and you have to do the homework. That means for theory, interpersonal roles, decisional roles, and interpersonal roles, decision roles, informational roles. For that you have, I have given some points, right? So today you have to take your notebook and write individual. That means what is the meaning of liaison, what is the meaning of figurehead, like that you have to divide and write. So in the decisional role you have to basically identify they are decisions made using through your brain, and informational role through verbal of communication, how you speak and transfer information and how you get, and interpersonal roles, how you coordinate with other people. So these things you have to just write and as a description for homework. And another thing is there in chapter 9, that is the managerial grid. I will make sure I'll do it in next class. So since there is time, we will do another one more slide. So in chapter 9, one session, one subtopic is pending. I will finish it by next class. And Dylan, can you take another slide? I think there is something called groups and teams, the chapter 10 or 11, I guess.
Organizational structure.
No, that I finished.
Chapter 6.
6 also I finished.
5, 4, 2. That's it.
Chapter 10 should be there. No, see something called groups.
No.
Groups and teams and ஏதாச்சும் இருக்கா?
Organizational network இருக்கு, authority and power, human resource function.
Organization network create பண்ணுங்க. அதுல எத்தனை slides இருக்கு என்னன்னு பார்க்க.
2 slides செய்யவே.
No, not this. So groups and teams and I had a slide. I don't know whether in the PC it's not there. Dylan, can you go to the internet, like managerial grid எடுக்கலாமா? ஒரு chart ஒன்று எடுத்தா I can explain the managerial grid. Okay, Dylan. So now chapter 10 is not there. Okay, we'll leave it. So next class I will prepare the slides and we'll take. So ask the students shall we do any question and answer session and continue the class with the next class?
Miss,
Yeah.
நோட்ஸ் இன்னும் அப்லோட் பண்ணல தானே மிஸ் மூடில.
நான் கிளாஸ் எடுத்ததெல்லாம் மூடில் அப்லோட் ஆகலையா இன்னும்?
ஆன்லைன் வீடியோ இல்ல, இந்த நோட்ஸ் அவங்களோட ஸ்லைட்ஸ் நான் காப்பி பண்ணது
இல்லையா? சரி, அப்ப இன்னைக்கு நான் அப்லோட் பண்ண சொல்லி சொல்றேன். ஸோ ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் ஓபி கிளாஸ்ல நான் மற்ற பேலன்ஸ் ஸ்லைட்ஸை வந்து நான் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்றேன். பரவாயில்லையா?
ஓகே மிஸ்.
உங்களுக்கு எதுவும் டவுட் இருக்கா இப்ப கேக்குறதுக்கு? அசைன்மெண்ட் ரிகார்டிங் தி அசைன்மெண்ட் எதுவும் டவுட் இருக்கா?
மிஸ் இது பாவலங்கற உங்களுக்கு
கொஞ்சம் போங்க, நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் போங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் போங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் போங்க. இதுல வந்து ரொம்ப this is too much. இதுல கூட எழுதி இருக்காங்க.
அப்படியா?
அப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆயிடுவாங்க. அவங்களுக்கு தேவையானது மட்டும் தானே அது சொல்லணும். ஸோ இதுல டயக்ராம் ஒன்று இருந்தா நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணலாம். பாப்போம் டயக்ராம் இருக்கான்னு. So no, I will prepare my own slides and explain them. Leave it. Okay. Students, you can ask if you all are doing any assignments and stuff. You can just ask me if you have any assignment doubts.
ஓபி சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டேன் மிஸ்.
சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? ஈஸியா இருந்துச்சா செய்யறதுக்கு? எப்படியோ செஞ்சீங்களா? என்ன சப்ஜெக்ட் டெட்லைன் கொடுத்தாங்களா உங்களுக்கு?
சிபியும் ஓபியும் ஒரே டைம்ல தான் பிஎஸ்டி.
ஓபியும் கொடுத்தாங்களா? என்ன நான் கிளாஸ் முடிக்கல தானே, நீங்க எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் கேக்க இருந்துச்சு.
அதான் மேனேஜ்மென்ட் ரோல் மட்டும் தான் நோட்ஸ் இது.
இல்லம்மா, நான் கிளாஸ் முடிக்கல தானே, வேணும்னா நீங்க எக்ஸ்டென்ஷனோட ரிக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ண இருந்துச்சு ஓபி அசைன்மெண்ட் சப்மிட் பண்றதுக்கு. சரி பரவாயில்ல, இப்ப நீங்க சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டீங்க தானே மோட்ல, இட்ஸ் ஓகே. ஓகே வில் see. சோ
டைரக்ட் ஆன்சர்ஸ் மாதிரி தான் இருந்துச்சு. கொஞ்சம் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி
என்னது
டைரக்ட் ஆன்சர்ஸ் ஃபைண்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி தான் இருந்துச்சு. கொஞ்சம் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி நடிகே
கிடைச்சிட்டதா? ஓகே சரி, ஓகே. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் வந்து நாங்கள் கண்டினியூ பண்ணுவோம். ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், எவ்ரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஐ ஆல் ஓகே வித் இட். நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் ஐ வில் பி கண்டினியூவிங் வித் த பேலன்ஸ் ஸ்லைட்ஸ்.
ஓகே மிஸ்.
ஓகே. ஆல் everybody fine with that?
மிஸ் நான் 6:15 ஆகுது. எனக்கு earlier முடிஞ்சா
என்னது? என்னம்மா? உங்களுக்கு ஃபாஸ்டிங் என்ன? அப்ப நான் டைம் கொஞ்சம் நான் ஏர்லியா போட சொல்லட்டா? அப்ப இனி
இல்ல இந்த டைம் பரவாயில்ல, நீங்க செஞ்சாலும்
இல்ல 5:30 to 6:30 ஓகேயா உங்களுக்கு?
ஓகே பரவாயில்ல.
சரிம்மா, ஓகே. So next class I will continue. Okay, thanks for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you miss.
Okay ma, bye.